We're continuing TDD with SwiftUI to write our first test for a SwiftUI view where the initial count should be 0. And if you missed part 1, go back and watch that first, because we're going to continue right where we left off. In our test, we create the view, then we find the count inside the view, and that dividing line shows my TDD technique for SwiftUI of breaking the test into 2 parts. Find the view, then assert things about it. This test currently fails. In TDD, we're always asking, what's the simplest thing we can do to go from red to green, that is, from failing to passing? Here, we want to find a view with the count accessibility identifier, and it should be a text view. So, let's add a text view that shows foo and set the accessibility identifier. This should now pass. Great! So that's part 1 of our test to find the right subview. Now let's move on to part 2, which is to assert something. Let's put the count into a variable and get the text from the count. Remember, everything in ViewInspector can throw. So we use try to get the string. Finally, let's assert that the text is 0. There, we have our first test. Remember that the first step of TDD is to see a test fail the way you want it to fail. Prediction is an important part of TDD, and I predict that this will fail saying foo is not equal to 0. Excellent. The second step of TDD is to make a change in the production code that causes the failing test to pass. Again, we ask, what's the simplest thing we can do to go from red to green? I'm going to do something that looks wrong. The simplest change we can make is to change foo to 0. Let's run this. I predict the test will pass. Yes. I know, you've been trained not to hard code things, but our count is correct. It shows 0, and we don't want production code to get ahead of test code. That funny feeling you have, that discomfort, is an important clue that tells us we're not done. In particular, it tells us that we need to write more tests. But let's finish up this TDD cycle. Step 1 is to write a failing test. Step 2 is to quickly get from failing to passing. Step 3 is to refactor. Let's clean things up. There's really nothing to change in the production code yet. Now let's also look at the test code. We've turned the comments into code, so let's delete the comments. What else? We're more likely to deal with the text of the count than any other attribute. So let's change the helper by having it return a string. Then we can get rid of that line and assert against the count. I also like a test to clearly show its 3 parts: arrange, act, and assert. Let's use blank lines to separate the parts. Having cleaned up the code, let's run tests again. TDD is often described as a 3-part process: red, green, refactor, but there's an implicit 4th step that has always been there, and that's to integrate the code. So at the very least, commit, and ideally, use trunk-based development to push. And there, we've TDD'd the first unit of behavior of our SwiftUI counter app. Come back and let's figure out what our next test is going to be.